Thinking about leaving your soul-sucking 9 to 5 job, one of the biggest struggles I see people, especially as women, face is the idea of having that safety net, that enticing perks and benefits, and listening to that head trash of what will people think if I leave. I totally get it, and I've been where you are. That's why I created a free guide to help you if you're thinking about putting in that notice. It's called Unlocking Your Exit Plan. Discover 5 things you need to do before leaving your 9 to 5. This guide is filled with worksheets and steps so you will have hand holding along the way. You can download your copy in the link in the show notes, and again, it's totally free. Now back to today's episode.
You're listening to the Hello CS Dorsey podcast, your one-stop shop for all things motivating while on your entrepreneur journey. Feeling stuck in your business or don't know where to start? Don't worry, we've got you covered. Listen to some of the leading women in today's industry who have been there before to help guide you on your path. Now, here's your host and self-taught web designer, CS Dorsey.
Welcome, everybody, back to another episode of the Hello CS Dorsey podcast. I have JaCoi James here with us. How are you doing today?
I am doing exceptionally well. And how are you?
I'm doing well. That's awesome. So could you tell everyone about yourself and what you do?
Yes. So as you've stated, my name is JaCoi James. I am the president of Black Women's Wall Street, Inc., which is a 501c3 nonprofit organization based in the state of Texas.
Awesome.
And so I guess a little bit more about that. So Black Women's Wall Street, being that it's a nonprofit organization, what we focus on, our mission is empowering Black women who aspire to be business owners, and we equip them with startup business training, financial literacy, and education so they can impact local and global communities. So that just kind of gives you a little bit more as to who we are and what our mission is.
Awesome. So I'm going to ask a question.
Yeah.
How was the process like starting this up? What was the process like for you?
So if you're talking about the very beginning, right, like what were the beginning stages, a lot of times people will ask us, how did you come up with that name? Or, how did you get started? Really, it was birthed from ladies who had similar backgrounds, similar visions, but various or different backgrounds, if you will. And so one thing that each of us, what we were simply passionate about, we were passionate about the Black woman. And we were passionate about the fact that Black women, being one of the most highly educated demographic groups in the U.S., yet we are not taking hold or capturing what's ours. And so it started really just with the base level of saying, we really need to create a platform that allows Black women to better understand and take hold of better understand their worth and take hold of what it is that they have available to them, and just giving themselves permission to move forward and establish their businesses. And so really, as far as getting started, it really was just a common vision, passion, and determination to say that if we as individual women were determined to start our own businesses, let's help other women to do the same thing. And it's really that simple.
I love that, because I don't know, or maybe I just haven't searched, but I don't know if there's anything like this out there. And I think this is really amazing.
Well, I thank you for that. Here's what I will say. I will say there are other organizations like this to some degree, in the fact that, yes, you do have organizations like the SBA or other organizations that will mentor you to help you establish a business, right? But I think that is really the thing that is really unique about us specifically is that we are specifically unapologetically targeting the Black woman to make sure that we are helping to maintain that area of support. and empowerment and encouragement and equipping them to do that. Because a lot of times I think what happens is that sometimes we don't see a lot of examples of us doing this thing, building a business. A lot of times we are seeing more examples of Black women being demeaned or disregarded. And we need more positive examples like this. And so that's the thing, is that's what I think is unique, is that we're not seeing a lot of this where it is a specific and unique focus on this demographic group, with a willingness to support, to be uplifting, to encourage, and to say, you know what, I see someone that looks just like me that is doing it. Now I do believe, and I see that I can do it as well. So like I said, there are organizations out there that are helping people to start businesses, but I don't think that it is something that is very specific that we're seeing in the market where they are targeting the Black woman specifically.
Right. I completely agree. I agree completely. So tell us something
hmm
about yourself that a lot of people don't know.
That is a funny question. I say that because I am somewhat of an open book. I'm very transparent, and I'm really goofy. But I will say, and I'm going to open my mouth and say this, but I'm also going to say, don't follow up with that question that I know you're going to probably ask afterwards. But something that a lot of people don't know about me is that I actually can sing. I would like to think that I do have a beautiful voice that God has gifted me with, but it is for me and for shower time. So I just leave it, leave it at that. But I can sing, and those that are really close to me, they know that. So that's why I said, don't ask that question. Don't ask me to sing.
Oh, we just need an A-B selection right now. No.
Right. Can we get an A and B selection? Yes. Yes.
Don't have me say it.
Don't you do it. Don't you do it.
Oh, shucks.
I know. Oh my goodness. No.
You know,
No.
you
But
know,
that's my little secret.
you know what's so funny? I've always wanted to be a singer. Ever since
Really?
I could remember, like ever since I came out of my mom's womb, I always wanted to be a singer, and I was working so hard to do it. And my mom was like, maybe if you're a little older, I would, know that you were serious. So as I got older, I started writing my own lyrics, my own music, everything. And
Really?
yeah, and after I got out of high school, well, my senior year of high school, I started contacting record companies and want to know, like, basically what they're looking for, or maybe if I get out of high school, I could work for them. But you know what's so
Right.
funny? Yeah, so funny. After excuse me if I'm babbling on, because this like really sparked a
Mm-mm.
conversation. After
You're
I
fine.
after I started going to church and everything, and I got saved and everything, that desire to be a singer just left.
Mm.
It left because I felt in my heart that really was not my calling at all.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
And I mean, and you know what? That's a beautiful thing about the journey, right?
Yes.
Because, I was talking to somebody the other day. Life doesn't happen in a straight line, right?
That's
Life
right.
occurs, it occurs, there are peaks and valleys, there are twisty, windy roads. But that's interesting that you figured out over the course of life, over the course of your journey, that that just wasn't for you. And so that
Right.
in and of itself is a beautiful thing.
Yes, it is. It is. And
hmm
if somebody would have told me then when I was a teenager that I wouldn't do it, that I wouldn't become like this great singer that I wanted to be, I would have been like,
Right.
you're lying. Like I told them then, I was like, you're
Right.
lying. But I'm completely grateful for it. And I was like, Mom,
Right.
I don't want to be a singer anymore. She was like, what? I was like, no, it's gone, because I feel like it's something else that I'm supposed to do. So
Yeah.
yeah, you really sparked a conversation.
Well, hey, listen, and I had really close friends of mine in high school. Like, we were determined, right? We would
hmm
practice, and we thought we were going to be the next TLC or Aaliyah times three, something. I don't know, but we practiced, and we had a little group, and we were determined, but it just kind of fizzled, and it happens, but still. To this day, I absolutely love singing, but I hate drawing attention to myself with singing. So I
Ah,
keep that tucked away. That's if there's any one thing that I'm shy about, I would say that it's singing. It's so funny because I'm not a shy person, but if it's any one thing, that is the one thing where I just kind of shrink just a little bit,
that is so
just a little.
interesting.
Yeah, I know. Crazy, right?
Yeah. Wow. That oh my goodness, yeah. Reliving the old times.
Good old days.
Good
Good
old
old days.
days. Oh yeah. So, I'm all about teaching women how to and entrepreneurs how to take action in their business. And what advice could you give those out there that wants to take action in their business or their life or their health and just feels like, that they can't take that first step or that first step is too hard due to could be mindset or anything like that. What advice would you give to those out there?
So here's what I will say. Let's take into consideration the day and time that we're in right now, right? So we have this mass pandemic that's going on right now with regards to COVID-19. Um, and so, what advice I would give, like right in the wake of this very thing that's happening in our nation, I would say that a lot of times people will say, "Oh, I don't have time. I don't have enough time. I'm too busy. I've got this and that." And now everybody right now in this very moment literally is forced to stay at home, get quiet, and whatever it is that you have that extra time to do, like this is the opportunity to seize the moment. Right? So I would say right now, for anyone that may be listening, I would say this is the moment. This is your opportunity. While the time is quiet, that you literally need to put pen to paper and you need to think and strategize to say, okay, these are the things, these are the business ideas that I have. And what will that start to look like? Who is my ideal client or customer? Weigh the pros and the cons. Like for me, whenever I have to make a hard decision, I literally put pen to paper. I draw a line right down the middle of the page. One side I put pros, the other side I put cons, and I literally write those things out. And for me, whichever side weighs heavier than the other, that tells me what direction to go in. So I would make it as simplistic as possible to say, if your excuse, and I hate to say excuse, but sometimes that's just what it is. If your excuse is, um, I don't have time. Okay, you do now. COVID-19 is forcing you to have time. So you have time, sit down and make the time. If someone says, I'm afraid, good, right? Because I'm telling you now, just because I am a business owner and just because I'm helping other women, I'm still afraid. But the thing is that people have to understand you have to do it afraid, right? You get less and less fearful as you move forward because you start to push yourself and realize that, you know what, I really can do this because I've gotten to phase 1 or I've gotten to phase 3. And then you keep going. You start challenging yourself to see how far can I go? So I would tell people if they're afraid, that's a good thing, but you have to do it afraid. But if you can't do it afraid, then you do need to seek out the support of other people that can encourage you to build your sister circle, if you will, to build your community support system that will support you along the way and kind of hold your hand through the journey, because sometimes that's what we're needing. And again, because we know that not a lot of people have that, that's the reason why Black Women's Wall Street Inc. was formed, because we know sometimes you're surrounded by family and friends who just don't have the same mindset as you, that don't share that entrepreneurial spirit as you. So sometimes it's going to be a lonely journey. You've got to go at it alone. But I tell people that you've got to start somewhere, even if you're afraid. Just simply put pen to paper and start making a list of those things that are coming to you that are business ideas. That's what I would say.
I think that's awesome. So do it afraid, seek support, and start somewhere.
You have to. Absolutely.
That's awesome. So what advice would you give yourself 10 years ago?
Um, 10 years ago. So let's see, where am I now? Let's think about that age. All right. Now I will put this out there. So I am 41 years old, right? Most women, they say, oh, don't ask a lady her age. So I'm 41 years old. So what advice would I give myself 10 years ago? Start now. That's the advice. That's the advice that I would have given myself 10 years ago, is to start right now. That's because I feel like I wasted a lot of time. I had a lot of the knowledge. I had the determination, the go-getter attitude, but I just didn't get started because I felt like I had more time. So my advice to myself 10 years ago would be start now.
It's really interesting that you brought that up because, when we're younger, we kind of like lollygag. I don't know what is this thing about. We think that we're gonna, live forever, but we kind of lollygag on a lot of things, and we don't take action to actually do them. And I think back and I say, wow, if I would have kept doing that, where will I be now? Because these years are going by so fast. And, in the blink of an eye, I woke up and I was 35 and I said, oh, really? I was like, is happening today?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, it's the craziest thing. It's like when I went to my 20-year class reunion, I was like, okay, so that moment is here now. Like this is here now. I have cousins that are 19, 20. They swear I am old. They say that I am just ancient. And I'm just like, just wait. Life goes by so fast. I mean, that's one thing you cannot get back is time.
That's the truth. That is the truth. And I mean, look at it now. It's April 2nd. We're almost in the middle of the year and the year just started.
Right.
So
right.
Time waits for no one. And start now.
Man.
Start now. Yes.
Right. With emphasis. Now. Not tomorrow. Now. Yeah. Start yesterday. Like,
okay.
Yeah. With a sense of urgency. Absolutely.
That's right. So where can everyone find you?
So everyone can find me. So our website for Black Women's Wall Street, our website is www.blackwomenswallstreet.org. And so that is Black Women's, WOMENS, Women's. So blackwomenswallstreet.org. We also are on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram. So we do have those social media pages. And like I mentioned, I'm based out of Texas. And so those that are in the DFW Metroplex, Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, we are in the Mansfield area. So if anyone wants to connect locally, they would be able to do so.
Awesome. And we'll add everything in the show notes for everyone. Well, I'm so happy that you came on today, and it's been a joy, and you definitely pulled out some old memories in me, and I'm like, oh, she made me go there.
Right.
Singing and everything. Thank you so much for being on the show today.
Thank you for having me. I've enjoyed you. Thank you so much.
We hope you enjoyed the show today. Remember to subscribe to get the latest episodes and more. Head over to hellocsdorsey.com to subscribe. And remember, nothing is impossible. So make the impossible possible and take action today. We'll see you next time.